Welcome back. It's Thursday. You know what that means. We are doing a mock draft on Sleeper. So get ready. I see some of you in the chat already asking, how do we get in? I'm about to drop the link. So get ready. It's first come, first serve. As you can see, it's just me tonight. So we got 11 spots up for grabs. First 11 people that get in here, congrats. You're in the draft. Please, let me just say, if you're going to join the draft, draft. Don't join the draft if you're only going to make a few picks and then auto draft the rest. Like to get a good mock drafting here. So here we go. Here comes the link right now. Everybody get ready. Three, two, one. There's the link. Let's fill this thing up with people who actually want to draft. All right, here we go. By the way, we are doing a full PPR mock draft tonight. One QB, two running backs, three wide receivers, one tight end, one flex, and we are full. Looks like everybody. J Problem, what's up? You are on the clock at the number one. Don't see you green yet. I'm gonna wait till you go green. Everybody else is green. There he goes. All right, here we go. We are starting. J Problem, what's up? On the clock. No surprise with Chase, and I'm on the clock at the two. You know who I'm taking here. No, it's not Saquon Barkley. Although Saquon Barkley's fine. Gotta go be. John's my guy this year. John is my. Mark said he's 7. That's good because I don't see your green dot. Yep, Cali King, Cali Kid, California 8, 4, going with Jefferson, Barkley. So pretty standard so far. Pretty standard here. CeeDee Lamb. I'm guessing this is UD Stillboy. I'm guessing this is Steelers 1. Looks like you got in. Took Jameer Gibbs there. All right, Mark. Look at the 7. Goes with CMC. We've seen CMC go higher and higher. Wouldn't surprise me if this guy's a top 5 pick by end of August. Second round CMC looking like an absolute steal right now. Yes, Shane, it did feel quick. Go with the neighbors. Gotta like it. I'm good. I'm good, Jay. I hope you're good as well. Sorry, Keith. Yeah, these things feel quick, but the good news is we're every week right now, and as we get closer to the season, we'll start ramping up even more. Plenty of chances ahead to still get in one. All right, Keith is the turn. Let's see what he does here. 2 picks for Keith. Always like Keith. He's sharp. He goes Amon-Ra, Derrick Henry. Nothing wrong with that. Ryan Thomas, Ashton Genty. That's a nice start. Nico London. That's it's hard to have. I feel like it's hard to have a bad start when you're at that 10, 11, 12 spot. I mean, Amon-Ra Henry, Nico London, Thomas Genty. Can't feel bad about any of those picks, honestly. Even here, Neighbors Lad. I like it. Neighbors Lad. I like that. Puka Achan. Man. Last year, I remember like the last couple of years, I felt like the second round, it was like, oh, not a lot of players I like in the second round. I feel like that's not the case this year. I like a lot of the guys in the second round this year. I think there's a lot of good second round value this year. Mark saying CMC number 1 running back if healthy. I mean, certainly it has that potential. Certainly has the potential to be the number 1 running back if he's healthy. We know that. Glad somebody took Bowers. Impossible to get into these anymore. Clayton says, nah, you could do it. Just wait. Just wait. I mean, we're only in June right now. Yeah, you spread the word. Oh, wait, that's me on the call. I'm like, how come this guy's not picking? All right, I gotta take JT here at the end of the second round. Gotta take JT. Although I do have a running back start in full PPR, 3 wide receiver. But is this Ray asking if it's best ball or redraft? This is we draft this like it's redraft here. All right, I don't love Higgins this year, but I think in the third round it's fine for Higgins. In the third round. Yeah, we treat this like it's redraft, Ray. I mean, he shouldn't be in the JT should not be in the late third, in my opinion. I think he should be more like mid-second. I mean, I think it's close between him and Jacobs and Chase Brown. Like, I have those 3 guys pretty close. But when I look at the wide receivers here, like, yeah, I like Terry. I like JSN, Evans, Higgins. I don't think I could put those guys over a workhorse like JT, personally. What's the argument for Higgins over a Hill or Rice? Well, over a Hill, that's easy. Hill is probably cooked. I don't think we see a bounce back from Tyreek Hill this year. Rice is a little bit tougher. But you got to remember they do have Xavier Worthy still. They do have, as of right now, a healthy Hollywood Brown. So, Higgins the clear wide receiver 2 on the Bengals. I don't love Higgins this year. Certainly think Higgins is a trap. But I'm still taking him over Tyreek and Rice. Yeah, Rice sounds like he's going to play week 1. Yeah, interesting. I'm surprised Keith took Sutton that early, honestly. Definitely some interesting picks in this draft today. I mean, Kyron Williams at 4.8. What? Kyron Williams at the 5. I mean, if Kyron had fallen to me, I would have had to take my third running back there. Like, I can't pass on Kyron there. All right. Well, speaking of Chiefs wide receivers, let's go Worthy here. J Problem saying not intentional. Maybe I'll try to draft an all J team. JT was so bad last year. What? He was? What? Jonathan Taylor not only won people fantasy championships by going off in the fantasy playoffs, he was the RB7 in points per game. He had 1,400 rushing yards. He had over 1,500 total yards. He had 12 touchdowns. JT was great. And remember, in the fantasy playoffs, he went off, and the only reason he didn't like really go off is because in week 1, if you remember, McMillan hold on, this is tough. Let's go McMillan as my wide receiver 3. If you remember the first week of the fantasy playoffs, he dropped the ball at the goal line on that long run, or else JT probably would have outscored Jahmyr Gibbs in the fantasy playoffs. No joke. In fact, if you look at it in the fantasy playoffs, it's funny how like Jahmyr Gibbs is like being propped up by what he did in the fantasy playoffs, but JT is not. And I'm not saying you should just look at fantasy playoffs by any stretch. But if you look in the fantasy playoffs, JT was the RB2, only had 3 less points than Jahmyr Gibbs. And again, he literally let go of the ball at the goal line, if you remember, in that first game. Otherwise, he would have been the highest scoring running back in the entire fantasy playoffs. He was awesome. All right, where are we at here? Got a couple QBs off the board. JD and Hurts. And then, a couple tight ends early here with Sam Laporta. That's pretty early for Laporta. There's Devonta Smith. Do I think James Cook is going to hold out? No. Nah, he already I mean, yeah, I do like Ray Davis as a handcuff. But James Cook's not going to hold out. I mean, he already showed up to minicamp. Why would he hold out? He's not going to get paid if he holds out, that's for sure. But I still do like Ray Davis as a handcuff. All right, we got a pretty early Mahomes there from Vert. Vert is a Mahomes truther. Whoops. I like that. Those Dunze and Godwin picks for sure. Am I worried about the Lions offense this season? Not really. I don't think the Lions offense was only because of Ben Johnson. I remember we were worried after Dave Canales left the Bucs. Everybody's like, "Oh, Dave Canales left," and then they were fine. If you got good players, you're gonna be good, and the Lions have a lot of good players. Yeah, I get like why JT isn't viewed as a first round pick or anything, because he's one of those running backs. You know, he's not going to catch a ton of passes. Henderson would have been nice there, but we'll go. You know what? I'm gonna leave Jennings for you, Jay, so you can continue with the J theme. I'm gonna take Pearsall. You can take Jennings. Or Burrow works too. There you go. All J's. He's got all J's so far. All right. Not really in on Olave this year, but he's like my wide receiver 5 here. All right. He's my wide receiver 5. It's fine. Going back to JT, like I understand. Like he's one of those running backs, doesn't catch a lot of passes, so he can have those down weeks, right? He can have those weeks where 50 yards and no touchdowns, and it's like, oh, that was terrible. Kind of like how Nick Chubb used to be. But man, he gets all the volume in that offense. He's got the chance to hit a home run, score touchdowns. He's young. He's elite. He's like real life elite. So yeah, I don't like JT first round, maybe even early second, too early, but I like him like mid to late second. And again, it's really close. Like that next tier of running backs after Achane is JT, Jacobs, and Chase Brown for me. I don't know. Maybe I could have Jacobs and Chase Brown over and be okay with that. All right. Was that an auto? No, it wasn't an auto pick. Mark, Josh Downs, pretty early there. My thoughts on Brashard Smith? Yeah, like probably going to play special teams. I don't see him doing a lot this year, honestly. Let's scroll this down so you guys can see. Beshin Myers. I did consider Jacoby over Olave, but I felt like that was good value on Olave. We'll just take the value. Jacobs, yeah, the Walmart brands. I mean, he kind of is, right? Like he gets all the touches. He's in a good offense. He's a good player. He scores touchdowns. Like why is Jacobs a third round pick? I don't understand. No, I just don't see Brashard Smith being more than a special team. Maybe I'm wrong. You get. It's pretty early to get there. There's definitely guys I would prefer over him in that spot. Not sure how I'm feeling about this team this week. This is why we mock, though. My biggest dynasty regrets, minus trading away Puka. And also declining to give away Anthony Richardson for BTJ and Bucky. Ouch. Yeah, that one stings. That one definitely stings. Biggest dynasty regret. Hold on, let's go. Kind of starting to come around on. Oh, is he gone? Did I miss? Oh, he's gone already. All right, can't take Mooney. Oh man. All right, too much Scattaboo this year. Too much Scattaboo. Continues with the Jays. All J team, and it's actually not bad. There's a lot of good players with J. All right. Let's go Pittman here. Where were we at here? We were my biggest. I mean, the most recent one I can think of was trading Puka for I think it was a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick early 2 years ago when he was a rookie, but I misread it and thought I was getting Puka. And I was like, it's fine, just put it through. But as far as I'm trying to think of I know I made some terrible trades, like some trades where I really thought, Come on, Keith. You're in a lot of dynasty leagues with me. What's a terrible dynasty trade I made? Or Clayton? What's a terrible? There's got to be. I know I've made a bunch. I'm trying to think way back. I know I made some really bad ones when I first played. But it's a long time ago, so I'm trying to remember. But I know I made some really bad ones. Yeah, I know one regret. A recent trade, a regret. No, I did not. I think I started playing just after Peyton Hillis was a thing. But I know a trade we made a couple years ago in one of our Endgame Dynasty leagues. We had a trade, and our trade partner wanted one of our QBs, either Sam Howell or Jordan Love. And that was the year Sam Howell was the starter for Washington, and Jordan Love had just become the starter for Green Bay. And if you remember, in the beginning of the season, Sam Howell was tearing it up, and Jordan Love looked terrible. And we convinced him to take Jordan Love and let us keep Sam Howell. Oh, regrets. Yeah, I remember this. I was going to say the Swift for Sutton one. And what's funny about this, this is I'm glad you brought that one up, Keith, because this is the lesson in not getting all bent out of shape about a dynasty trade that you think is unfair. Because I remember when that trade went down, I got DeAndre Swift, and I think you got Sutton, and I think a 2nd round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember exactly, but I think that's what it was. And man, people were like, "This is crazy! How can you give up Swift for just Sutton?" And a pick, And I mean, Swift was terrible. That year, and he's been really terrible ever since. And Sutton's been solid. You won that trade. You absolutely won that trade. At the time, everybody thought I remember everybody in the league was like, "Oh, what the?" They were all upset about it. But you absolutely won that trade. So that's why I never say anything. I might not agree. I might be like, ooh, I would never make that trade. But I also understand that I get things wrong. I think in the man cave league that same year I basically sold out to win the championship. And that was the year that was the DeMar Hamlin. So we had a split championship anyways. And I went out and I sold out and I traded for Derrick Henry. And I sold out and traded for DeAndre Hopkins, who was Hopkins playing for then? He was playing well. What team was D-Hop on that year? Was he still on the actually he was still on the Cardinals. That was the year he came. That's right. That was the year he was suspended like the first 6 games. And I sold out to trade for these guys, mortgaged my future 100% to win the championship that year. And then in the championship game, DeAndre Hopkins, I think he was hurt. He didn't even play. He didn't even play the last 2 or 3 games after I basically, sold the farm for him. And they rested Derrick Henry in week 17 because they already had the playoff spot lined up. So the guys I sold out to get weren't even there for me when I needed them. And then I was stuck with old Derrick Henry and old DeAndre Hopkins. Which is a lesson in be careful when you're trying to sell out for a championship. I know this isn't basketball, but I mean, come on. Okay, OKC's got to win tonight, right? Halliburton's way less than 100%. Yeah. Thanks, Justin. Those are my. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this team. How I feel about this team, to be honest. All right, little tight end run. Thank you. We'll see. I don't think my team's gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna feel the best about my team this week. There's gonna be some much better teams than mine this week. Where are we at? The last 2 rounds here. Last 2 rounds. Ooh, Njoku would have been nice. How is Njoku going this low? This doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. Kelsey looking like a value if he stays at current ADP, I guess. Man, I don't know what to make of Kelsey. Is he any good? Says he's in shape, but I've seen pictures of him, dude. He looks more out of shape than me. All right. You guys didn't leave me much at tight end. So we'll go to Kraft. Yeah, actually, Jay's putting together a pretty nice team of just Jays. I mean, maybe these last two picks weren't great, but I think up to that point, he's a pretty nice team of just Jays. Dak, Fields. Oh, Fields is already gone. Let's go Dak. We'll go Dak. Go Dak as my QB. I do have a funny story about that, though. Not really with names, but I was in one time in my we used to do a league at my gym every year, and I don't know how this guy he was a Lions fan, so I don't know how he ended up with this, but he ended up with a team. Well, maybe it was like half his team was Lions and half his team was Raiders. But the Raiders had good players back then. They had like Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree. I think he had like the Raiders kicker. And the Lions had good players back then. They had like a couple other guys. But I remember the reason why I always remember it is because it was like week 8, and the Lions and the Raiders had a week 8 bye. So he only had like 3 healthy dudes that week. So his choices were either like drop a bunch of guys. Yeah, Janikowski was a kicker for the Raiders. So his choices were either drop a bunch of his team or just take the L. Now, lucky for him, he was like 5-2 at that point or something like that, so he could take the L, and he just took the L. It was pretty crazy. It was like, I've never seen that where dude literally only had like 3 guys because of bye weeks. He would have had to drop like really good players. All right, last few picks here. Gotta have a Chubb. Gotta have a Nick Chubb pick. Somebody's got to draft Nick Chubb. All right. Who's Mr. Irrelevant, Keith? Yeah, showing my age. I don't know if the Raiders were good. I mean, well, they were good. They weren't like they weren't good where they were like competing for Super Bowls, but they were like good enough. And they had good players like Crabtree, Amari Cooper. I'm trying to remember who they're running. I feel like they had a good running back too. Maybe even a decent QB. But anyways, it's a long time ago, man. Jeez. All right, let's grade these teams. Jay problem with the all J team, but it's not even bad. I mean, Chase, JSN, Jameson, Jennings, Jaden Higgins at wide receiver. That's great. You got Jacobs, Mixon at running back. Burrow, John. I mean, that's a great team. That's all J's. All J's. That's actually impressive that there are that many players in the NFL whose names start with J and are that good. It's a lot of J's. Well done. Well done with all J team. Very strong team. My team, it's okay. I mean, Bijan, JT, Higgins, Worthy, McMillan, Pearsall, Olave, Pittman, Kirk. It's like quantity over quality at wide receiver. Kraft, Dak. Not my best team here. It's fine. It is what it is. I need Bijan and JT to carry me. Don't love it. All right, other John, what's up? Went Saquon, then Terry, Evans, DK, Hurts, Monty and Pacheco, Coleman, Harris, Hollywood, Spears, Ferguson. I mean, you got a lot of guys I like. Could definitely be dicey if, DK stuck in Pittsburgh. You're going to have to flex one of Pacheco, Coleman, Trey Harris, Hollywood Brown, Spears. Could be okay. Again, it's not a bad team by any stretch. Again, a lot of players I like, but it doesn't jump out at me. All right, California 8 with the Michael Scott. That's the isn't that the Prison Mike? Isn't that Prison Mike? The icon there? Is that who that is? That what he is? Prison Mike right there? All right, Jefferson, Bowers, Josh Allen. So he goes one at every position, but does grab DJ Moore. And then, when you got Josh Allen, you got to grab Jaden Daniels. What are we doing? Henderson, Swift as your running backs. Luther Burden is your wide receiver 3. You got Hawk and Bowers. All right. It's a bold strategy. Not sure it's going to pay off. You got to start. You got to start Trayvon Henderson, DeAndre Swift every week. You got to start Jefferson, DJ Moore, and then 2 of Burden, Shaheed, and Demario Douglas or Rashad White or Eckler. But you do have good quarterbacks and tight ends. I'll give you that. Yeah, Prison Mike. That's what I thought. Prison Mike. That was a great. Oh, I'm just thinking about him being Prison Mike. He's so over the top. So funny. All right, MC Fizbiz. CeeDee Lamb, Bucky Irvin, Rasheed Rice, Kyron Williams. That is great. Kyron Williams at the 4-8. Like, what are we doing? Did I miss Kyron Williams dying? What are we doing here? Travis Hunter, Jerry Jeudy, Judkins. So you got the Brown stack right there. Debo, Cup, Charbonnet. That's some dustiness. I like Fields and Njoku, though, late. I like this team. Very solid team. Lamb, Rice, Hunter, Jeudy is your flex. Bucky and Kyron is your running backs. Fields and Njoku. I like that team. Well done. All right, Steelers boy, Steelers fan 1. I think his name is Steelers fan 1. What's up? Got Gibbs at the 1-6. That's great. I like Adams. I feel like it's a little early for him, but I do like him. Love Chase Brown there. Pickens, Laporta, Caleb. So Caleb, basically your flex. Mooney is your wide receiver 3. Isn't the worst. Baker. I like your Ben. I like Mason and Benson, Mims, Ertz. It's a little risky. Like the flex wide receiver 3 could be a little dicey, especially if, Caleb isn't off to a great start. Could be a little dicey there, but I see the potential. All right, Mark at the 7 when it was CMC. He's not scared. A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson. Not scared to take Tyreek Hill either. George Kittle, Chuba is your RB2. Downs, I think, was sort of an auto pick. Shakir, Tracy Warren, Dobbins. I like that Dobbins pick. Kyler Lade is good value. Thielen. Yeah, solid teams here. You're looking at CMC, Chuba, AJB, Wilson. Tyreek is your wide receiver 3. Let's hope he's better. Then you're flexing down Shakir, Tracy, Warren, Dobbins. You should be okay at the flex there. One of those guys should be able to come through. All right, Coinman, 1947, Puka. Then went running back heavy. Achane, Cook, Kamara. Don't generally see Kamara that early. Although I think Kamara, once again, is being slept on this year. The guy is a receiving machine still. Devonta Smith, Jordan Addison. I love those picks. Devonta Smith in the 5th, Jordan Addison in the 6th. Love those picks. Aaron Jones. You got Diggs, so you're flexing. You're probably flexing a running back, so I guess you really need wide receiver there. It's a lot of good value. You got a lot of good value. Other than Kamara, you got a lot of good value in this draft. Andrews late, Stevenson, Kelsey, Bigsby, Drake, maybe their last pick. Well done. A lot of value in that draft. Well done, Coin, man. I like it. All right, Joe Castles. Man, imagine this dynasty team. Neighbors, McConkey, Harrison, Kenneth Walker. Ridley, man, I like that. I love those first 6 picks. You got Neighbors, McConkey, Harrison, Ridley's your flex, Walker and Pollard as your running backs. I like Besh. I like Leggett. I feel like it's probably too early for them, but I like those guys. Dylan Javante, okay. Love the Kincaid pick. Goff, solid. Chubb, okay, fine. Pour one out for Chubb. Get him on a team. It's fine. Great start to that draft, though, Joe. Love the start to that draft. All right, that way, Vert, BTJ, Ashton Genty, Trey McBride. That's great value on McBride. Hampton, Mahomes. Still curious about the Mahomes pick. But if Mahomes is your guy, he's your guy, I guess. I don't like taking him that early personally. But then you got Waddle, Myers, Ayuk, so good value there. But, 2 of these, you got to really start all of these guys or Etienne. You got to start at least 2 of Waddle, Myers, Ayuk, which I guess you're starting Waddle and Jacoby. You're hopefully going to be okay. You're flexing Ayuk, Etienne. Kyle Williams. I like the Caleb pick, I like the Dylan Sampson last pick. So again, just a little good players, just a little dicey on the roster construction there. All right, Ram Tough, Nico London. Man, I love that start. Then Zay Flowers, really? Like Zay Flowers is okay, but I just feel like there's such better wide receivers still on the board. Lamar there's fine. Harvey Connors, your RBs. Jaden Reed, Najee Harris is your flexes. That should be fine. Those two guys. Tyler Warren, Fryermuth is your tight end. Tillman Davis. All right. Not bad. Again, man, that Flowers pick, I think, keeps it from being a monster team. Like, you could have taken a wide receiver like what do we got here? Like, I mean, really, like Pickens, DJ Moore, Xavier Worthy, Jameis. I mean, like a lot of wide receivers I like over Flowers there, but good overall team. All right, Keith, St. Brown, Derrick Henry, Brees Hall, that's great. And then Sutton again. Sutton was a little peculiar, but if Sutton's your guy, I mean, he's your guy. I do think there's more upside receivers on the board here, but I like the Odunze, Godwin, Golden picks a lot. So, I mean, Sutton could potentially be your wide receiver 4 on this team, honestly. Brian Robinson, solid as your RB3. Evan Ingram, great at tight end. Bo Nix, love that. Like that bench a lot with Garendo, Bateman, and Coker. So, well done as usual. Ray saying he should have taken a wide receiver instead of Kelsey. So, Ray, you are Coin Man. Yeah. Maybe a wide. I mean, I don't dislike your wide receivers like Puka, Smith, Addison, Diggs. It's not bad. Yeah, maybe a wide receiver over Aaron Jones, like a Jacoby Myers, a Reed, a Golden, somebody like that. Just because you already have 3 good running backs, but I mean, overall, you have a solid team. All right, and King Cali with the Prism Mike saying he drafted like it. He would assume he can trade, which I mean, you know your league. If you feel like you could trade those guys, great. All right, guys, good draft as always. Don't forget, we'll be back here. We got videos dropping. We got one dropping tomorrow. We got one dropping on Monday. We'll be back here sometime next week to do some best ball drafts, and of course next Thursday to do another mock draft. Clayton, hopefully you can get in that one. Try to be here for that. All right, guys, appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Appreciate everything you do for the channel, always supporting us. See you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your night.